because the nature of this reality and how it simulates, there's a dark sun here. We are within the inverted reality system and the projection system and the mechanical workings. Okay. What is obvious is that each of them holds physical attributes, but Saturn's physical attributes are very easy to see, if you will. So the dark star sun of Saturn is the dark projection of the sun here that is lacking real light. And it's based on the duality. You have to go through the dark sun, so to speak, to see the light and to access Sirius through Alcyon. So let's go back to the fifth element of that dark sun that was coming in. The black hole, really.
The black hole sun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alcyon is Lilu, and Ben Corbin is Jupiter. And they're the instruments they're the saviors because they're the prime igniters of the sun being born and created, which actually stops that black hole. So they're the prime instruments of igniting the prime sun because Jupiter is going to be the primary sun. Well, they're all part of the destructive wraths. Mm-hmm. That they are going to bring the judgment onto the world. And I really didn't articulate it properly the last week when I said that they're policemen and judges, is because, yeah, they do keep the record of all our thoughts and deeds, and they do keep account of that. Mm-hmm. And then they're also the instruments of judgment as well, through bringing what the Bible would call the wraths, which is basically all the climate impacts through the astronomical alignments that are going to take place. And this is where the four horsemen come into the picture and into the scene, because they're all representing celestial bodies and conjunctions that are going to bring specific effects into the environment at that time of conjunction. And the record keepers know it. They always knew it.
It's a comprehension of the mechanics of the universe, and the universe is mechanical. So,
well, people don't want to comprehend it because it's going to be ugly. Okay. It's going to be very, very ugly. And I'm hoping you actually refrain from giving certain information.
I am totally, yes, absolutely.
Because
there's no
there are things, yeah, if it's not going to help people, there's no point.
Of course, obviously.
There's just no point. So I really want the information, yeah, sure, to raise awareness, to bring in a sense of preparation spiritually, foremost spiritual preparation, to be ready to face and meet all things that this simulation can bring and will bring.
I just will say that I will share what my father puts in me to share, no matter what that is, because there's a purpose in that, even if it's, the worst aspects of whatever. That's what's going to come out.
Yeah, people will want to believe that these catastrophe cycles are a scam, and that it's just there to it's just there to like bring a lower vibration and, you know what I mean? Like, and just suppress people's growth and joy. Like I the lie is sweet. The lie is very sweet, and the lie sounds good, and the lie is comforting. The lie has always been comforting. Just like, all you got to do is say, I believe in Jesus. Doesn't matter what I've done. And you get the get out of jail free card. You know what? It's an awesome lie. Go molest a whole bunch of children. But you know what? The last minute on your deathbed, say you believe in Jesus and you go to heaven. Mm-hmm. If you really, really want to believe that delusion, you're free to it. But, if we don't resist, or as like strive for sincere repentance, because it's not going to be, it's not for me to judge anyone. That's the thing. I'm not, like, I know it's complex. This is why I say it's complex, is that the abusers have been abused, and I know that there is a mercy and compassion because our parents, our mother and father in heaven, do know what everyone's gone through, all their trials and tribulations, and there is definitely a mercy and an aid for people. But if people aren't willing in their hearts to fight, if we're willing to put up the fight, we'll have help.
Yeah.
But if you're not willing and you like love your sin and are happy in your position and placement of sin, then what do you think is going to happen? Like, how can the good spirit work with that?
Sin or ignorance, okay? Because ignorance is
willful ignorance.
Yeah, exactly.
Which many choose.
And denial.
Yeah. Well, because it's comforting. And again, I'll get it because a lot of people are already traumatized. And so it's difficult to face hard truths when you're already traumatized.
And it's...
Look at the critters in the background. I think it's like Saturn and Jupiter just, duking it out back there.
It is Saturn and Jupiter. I have the children of Saturn and Jupiter.
Oh, dear.
My furry.
That's funny because they've actually got like the colors of Saturn and Jupiter. Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even know what to wear anymore during these presentations. Like I've like decoded so much, like with the color codes and like the logos, like Nike and Adidas, and I'm like, I still want to wear my Nike and my Adidas. I actually like it. Like, this is before I came out with like these decodes, and I'm like, I want to wear whatever I want to wear. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's orange or red or blue, or it's got little stripes across it, and whatever. I'm just laying it out there. If you see me wearing Nike or Adidas or wearing red, it doesn't mean I worship the devil. Okay, what are you doing squirming around?
It's like my dog's attacking my foot, nibbling my foot.
They're hungry. Jupiter and Saturn hungry. They're very hungry. Oh, can I do a quick? That just reminds me. I saw a Hungry Jack's ad come up yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, do people know who the Hungry Jacks really are?
Tell them.
Well, this is what I say. It's not. There's no J. It's really Hungry Yaks. The Hungry Bulls.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
They're the two red bulls colliding.
Mm-hmm.
Ignite the sun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They're the harvesters.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it's ironic, isn't it? Because they're represented as cattle,
mm-hmm.
and it's the cattle who are going to be harvesting the cattle below.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why at Christmas time and the New Year period, everyone has these great feasts. And what they're doing is they're actually commemorating their own harvesting.
Yes.
And I didn't really want to like lay that out before Christmas because I really didn't want to
It's true. It's a form of worship, and it feeds them to this day. That's what it's.
Well, but it's the hidden knowledge.
Yeah.
And what people are is it's the as above, so below, playing out the rituals. And in church, people are playing out those rituals because they don't realize they're worshiping Saturn and Jupiter and the Mother Mary, Alcyone.
In ancient times, when they were holding gladiatorial combats and whatnot in ancient Rome and all of the ancient civilizations, Babylonia did it, Sumeria, etc. We're still doing it to this day, and that's why you have sports stadiums and you have sports. They've just altered it so that it's
They're so funny. They put on a little performance back then. Yeah, I think you like spoke about the gladiators, so they're putting on a little gladiator show right now.
Yeah. Right. The gladiators are right there.
That's above, so below. Oh, darn. Can we ever?
And that's
Can
Saturn
we
in
ever escape?
Jupiter. That's going to attack.
Cheeky little rogues. Oh dear.
Get the
Okay.
video.
Yeah. Yeah. Looking over. I'm like, do they notice our shenanigans? Yes, we do.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the Hungry Yaks. But also, when you look at the British flag and the Union Jack, is the union of yaks. It's the mergence. It's the collision.
The disclosing of the seals as they are broken, the second phase being war.
So would you like to, in your own words, make a statement and a declaration about your stance on these war agendas?
Well, first of all, if there's any agreement being made on any level I'm not aware of that I've made by virtue of being in this avatar within this realm and being stuck in the nature of this realm, then I revoke that full on. There's absolutely no way, shape, or form that I am in agreement with any kind of war, any kind of manipulation, any engineering to cause any genocide or any mass agenda to remove through death of any kind anyone here, or control or take over or any of the above. Basically, each being here is on their own evolutionary journey. And whatever they have accrued within themselves or whatever they hang on to within themselves, that's their own journey. But I do not agree to anything holding power over anyone, regardless of where they are in their personal journey. They should be free to have their sojourn in any way they see fit for their own personal evolution, unhindered by any manipulation or engineering or any constraint or anything caused by any form of force. And that includes, forcing people through ownership of land, ownership of, the agriculture, of the food, of water, even of oxygen now, because clearly they're taking the oxygen away from people and forcing people to breathe carbon dioxide.
Though we also know that backdrops are used by the lords as instruments of the policy of judgment.
Mm-hmm.
And really that is their role in a sense, is that they are there to execute the shaping of the matrix based upon the collective's choice to be negative, and the ones who are the connected, the ones who are not part of the backdrop of reality through their choices to be negative.
But Father can also use anything. So,
in a positive measure as well. Yes.
Right. And it's a matter of your own will. But when I say anything that is going to cause restraint or constraint against you to force you into a decision that you wouldn't have made otherwise, that coercion, I feel, is a complete manipulation, and I do not feel that's fair within any game. There are these techniques that were done in ancient Greece and Rome and so on and so forth. They're war techniques, actually. The Celts used them, actually. The ancient Celts were, I think, the first to use them that we know of. So if you wanted to win, you wouldn't go in and you wouldn't combat hand to hand your opponent. You wouldn't go racing up to the, fortress. And what you would do is you would just build a wall around them. Okay? And you would starve them. You'd starve them out. That's what you would do. You wouldn't have to fight. Eventually they would be so weakened that they would be starved out and say, okay, just give me food and I'll do whatever you want.
Though when we speak about the soul eaters, the soul harvesters,
Mhm.
their function is to allocate the distribution of souls. They're hunters and collectors. So you could say, you know, that's their function, and it is appointed by
Mhm.
the higher heavens.
Yes.
There are no accidents, even in an underworld. There's reasons why underworlds exist.
Yep.
There's reasons why certain realms need to be quarantined.
This whole area is called a quadrant, and it's under quarantine and under like a complete it's neutralized. But my point is I don't agree to I just really want every being, whatever you are, I don't care what you are, to have the sovereignty that is birthed onto you to choose through your consciousness your path of evolution without being squeezed in any way, shape, or form. May your lanterns be filled with oil, that in the moment when you're called, your lanterns will be full of oil and you will be able to have light to go where you need to go. If your lantern doesn't have oil and you get called in the second, you're not going to have time to go and put oil in the lantern. Literally, you're not going to be able to go in the darkness because you won't see where you're going.
Anyway, darkest before dawn.
Bam, about Alcyon. Let's give a bam.
That wicked harlot.
Well, no, only in the inverse, right? Through the mirror is she Alcyon. Through the mirror, she is Alcyon.
That's right. And outside the mirror, she's the Holy Mother.
The inverted nature is Alcyon. But
okay, and that's exhibited because during this dark age where she's going through the convergences during the darkest period, she's converging with the Star Kings.
And she's pregnant.
As the whore.
And she's pregnant.
But at the ignition of the sun, she herself is reborn. That's why she's a virgin during the time of the birth of the new Jupiter.
The new sun.
The resurrected sun.
Yeah. But there will be at that point 2 suns. But in actuality, there will be 3.
That's another mystery. Well, I know Star Wars coded it as the Tatooine sons. It's going to be the twin sons of the twin brothers.
Oh, it'll be twin suns with a small sun.
A faint third.
So,
Do you know what the mystery is to that third son? Like, do you know which body that will be?
I've just been shown what it is. I was shown it.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that pink thing behind there? That
flamingo.
Yeah, the flamingo code.
The flamingo code. That's right. Everything's a code. Every symbol.
Well, everything is a code.
we're in code. We're in the land of codes. But what I like to do is I actually like to purchase things as well. Like after I've like decoded them. So like when I decoded like Superman, and you know I like bought a little Superman figurine and you know all those whatever other codes, and yeah, I like to sort of commemorate like that. And yeah, so the flamingo is attributed to Alcyone. So you know because we know the pink code as well. So the pink flamingo is attributed to Alcyone and Alcyone. That's why the symbol of the owl is for Alcyone. So I think all those hijinks at Bohemian Grove, you know, were a little ritual.
To Alcyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The inverted.
Exactly.
Kali, because they know that she is the destroyer.
She is the creator and the
That's right.
destroyer.
She's the life bringer.
Yeah.
And the destroyer. Welcome to duality, folks.
And she is the justice. She is the just bringer.
She's the queen of heaven.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And how's that for a paradox? On the same token, they're demonizing the same deity that they're worshipping and giving praise to as the mother.
Yes.
Welcome to the game.
Can I tell you a story about an owl?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the owl is beloved to me. Since I was little, I used to paint them all the time. And yes, it's part of programming. They use owls. And it's also like when you're abducted by beings that you often will paint owls. But one night I was coming back from work and it was about 2:30 in the morning, and in the middle of the road, there wasn't really any vehicles around. So in the middle of the road, literally, there was a huge, huge owl. Like, we're talking massive. Right in the middle of the road. My car pulls right up to it. And I kid you not, I'm saying my car pulls up with the headlights 2 feet away from it. It just standing there. So I keep the headlights on and I get out of the car and I'm like, wow, this owl's not moving. At first I thought maybe it's wounded, right? And because I pick up everything that's wounded, wherever it is, I quickly got out and I went to go. I'm like, oh, I'm going to take home a big 3-foot owl. So I go to get out and I realize this owl's fine. It's not wounded. But it wouldn't go. It just stood there and it was just looking right at me. So I was like, wow, this is fascinating. So I sat with my headlights at 2:30 in the morning, fully on the owl. I sat right in front of it and in about like this far away from it. Like we were face to face like this. I sat there for a half an hour with the owl. I even touched it.
Did it speak to you?
And yes, it did.
I know that you can communicate with animal spirits.
Yes, it did. Communicated a lot. And when it let me touch it, it said, you can touch me, because I was like, a part of me, I'm like, wow, is this like really real? Like, I know my car's in the middle of the road and this all feels real, but I know this is all a simulation, and it said, touch me. So I did. I went and, you know, I was stroking the chest and it let me. I was just kept stroking the chest. We were there half an hour. And I swear to you, I thought, I am going to be here all night in the middle of the road on this asphalt where it's not comfortable. And this owl is not going to go away. So, and I was exhausted. I was tired and I was like half hour, 40 minutes in. So I was like, okay, we got to go. We got to wrap this up. Got to wrap it up, you know. I got to go. I'm like tired, and it didn't want to go. Didn't want to go. Didn't want to go. Oh my God, this owl did not want to go. I was like, okay, all right. Do I have to like move you over? Move your body over so I can drive my car through the road, because it would not leave my side. And I basically like, ended up almost having to do that to the owl. I finally said, I need to go. I can be here all night, and this is really amazing and everything, but I have just finished an 8-hour shift, and you know, there's like a limit to the avatar.
To the experience. Yeah.
So and then at that point where I was like, come and visit me anytime, like pick another night. And then at that point,
for dinner,
it flew away.
Yeah.
But that was, I mean,
sounds special.
And usually I have them really close to me. They're always like close to my window, and they're always around.
We had that after. I remember we did a recording, which was revealing a lot of potent information, and right afterwards, when we were driving back home, we saw it on the power lines. Interesting, on the power line.
Power lines, yeah.
I didn't even know the power line code back then. It was on the power line.
Yeah, they tend to.
Yeah, we pulled over.
So the owl is quite otherworldly. And I truly don't really feel it is a being of this world. I feel like it's using an avatar.
Yeah. Well, I've got the flamingo back there, and I'm waiting on a Pegasus to arrive. So I'm gonna have the feminine.
I have 2 Pegasuses over here. They're really furry.
Nice one. So yeah, I'm waiting on a Swarovski Pegasus. Yeah, so I decided to give myself a Christmas gift, and yeah, so hopefully it arrives in one piece.
Nice.
Okay.
So that is the story of Alcyon and the owl.
Stories within stories within stories, and we've got this storybook playing out right now, and we can be the author of how our own story is going to, what outcome it's going to be. Okay, so in wrapping up, we hope you all had a positive and peaceful and prosperous New Year break, and we wish that as well for everyone into the new year and beyond, and advocating positive evolution for everyone and to overcome all the inevitable trials and challenges that this life is going to bring. And yeah,
I'm being attacked.
Yep. He's adorable.
Jupes is always like real calm and quiet.
Well, I don't know. He's pretty zen there in the back.
Jupiter's pretty.
Found some time to meditate back there.
Can you say hi to everybody, guys? You seem to be fascinated by this.
Well, they're certainly getting involved in this video, and okay,
yep.
Finally.
You want to be involved because they have codes.
It's just they're coded, we're coded, they're coded, the viewer's coded, it's all coded. In a nutshell.
Well, I would like to say to everyone that it has been challenging in the past while, for sure. Energetically, it's been pretty brutal, and I think we're all experiencing an extreme challenges that way, in physicality, in energy.
It doesn't matter if you're rich or you're poor.
No, it's
prince or pauper. No one escapes the trials and tribulations.
So
manifestation, the testing.
I know we just have to do the best we can through these energies, because there's no other option, actually. And if anything, it's a part of our it's our
calling.
Yeah, but
it's beyond that.
It's more like we're dying to the old and we're being rebirthed, just like Alcyon is being rebirthed. We're going through the same process as Alcyon, and that's actually it in a nutshell. So we're going through the exact same thing within.
Yeah, though what people manifest in that birthing,
right,
can go one of two ways.
Right.
So ultimately, it is
themselves.
Yeah, it is up to the individual.
So and I haven't really been able to have a lot of time to produce more. I really, hope that can change. I would also like to say that I think that what I'm going to be doing from now on, I hope this is okay to say this in this video, but I will be allocating Saturdays to just courses and groups from now on. So each within, it's going to be one group per however many sessions they're going to go for, and I'll have that on my website, www.sovereignki.com, and the enlisting is actually quite limited, so it is filling up. There's only a few spots left. So, and I will advertise the other ones that I will be posting, but just go to my website.
All right. I think that's a good way to wrap up.